Alright, how you guys doing? It's Patty and Carrie, right? Good. Where are you guys from? Canada, alright. How do you like Hawaii so far? Good. Your first time in a helicopter? Second. Cool, well it's my first time, so let me know if I do anything wrong. Alright, and James and Sue, you guys hear me okay? Alright, and behind me, Steven and Stefan, right? Alright, a couple things I gotta go over with you guys before we take off. First off, you guys saw the safety video, yeah? Okay, that pretty much covers everything. Also, we do have these around the aircraft just in case. Know where they're at, you never know. Aloha bags, they call them, and if you fill them up, they're free souvenirs, so remember to take them with you. Also, I do have to talk to air traffic control and these other guys flying around near us, so if you guys hear me get a little quiet or something, or just pause in mid-sentence, I'm just talking to someone else. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, they ask us not to talk to you around the airport too much, so the first few minutes and last few minutes of the flight, I'll be a little quiet. But that's it, you guys ready? Alright, cool. I'll be back with you here on the radio in just a minute. Until then, just relax, enjoy the ride. Alright, back with you guys. How's everyone doing so far? Good. Well, we got nice weather today. We're having Kona winds, they call this. That's where you have light winds from the south. That's why it's a little bit hazy. Trade winds are what we have 99% of the time. Makes it real windy, but you have a little clearer view. So each side has its pros and cons. The trade winds usually make it real rainy on the North Shore, so we'll be able to see a lot better for the most part. Just a little hazy is all. And nice calm air today. And that's our West Maui Mountains over there off of our left side. The North Shore as well. And that would be our Mauka side, they call that. Mauka means mountainside, Makai means ocean side. You might hear that a lot in Hawaii. We'll use that a little bit on this flight. Instead of saying left or right, we'll try to use Mauka or Makai. Learn a little Hawaiian today. Pay attention though, there's a Hawaiian language and cultural test when we land. If you don't pass, you have to pay double for the tour. In cash for the pilot. Nah, I'm just kidding. We'll pick up a few things, so. Also, Mauka of us, you got the Waihu Golf Course there right along the coast. That's a municipal golf course. Now, I don't play golf, but I'm told that means it's the only golf course on Maui. You don't have to mortgage your house to play around the golf, so more affordable. And Highway 340 takes you along this shoreline. So Highway 340, real nice drive along this North Shore. You hear a lot about the road to Hana. I like Highway 340 better. But anyways, Highway 340 takes you right through Mendez Horseback Riding Ranch. If you're into riding horses, you could do that over there off our left side. Also a really cool hiking trail behind the ranch. Doesn't cost anything to go to, Waihe'i Ridge Trail. It's a good 2-mile hike one way up to top of this little hill that overlooks the city. And beautiful views from up there. It's a real challenging hike though. It's nearly 1,000-foot climb in just a span of 2 miles. So pretty rough hike. But if you're into it, check it out. Then there's some private property and a lot of state parks a little further down the coast. Once you get past Kahakaloa Rock. Kahakaloa Rock is a tall rock out there off of our 11 o'clock. Not this little guy below us, but out in front of us more. The tallest point along the coastline that you see. And that's a famous rock in Hawaiian history. There used to be a king in the late 1700s that would dive off the rock into the water to prove he was immortal before battles. The name was King Kahakili, so you probably heard of King Kamehameha. He came from the Big Island, eventually took over all the Hawaiian Islands. But King Kahakili, he was the most famous king of Maui here. And he was a cliff diver, that was like his thing. So, it was a specialty. And he won every battle he led his troops into, but when King Kamehameha attacked, King Kahakili wasn't here. He was visiting in Oahu. He was off island, as they say, when King Kamehameha attacked and eventually took over the island. But anyways, Kahakaloa Rock, famous rock. And behind the rock is the town of Kahakaloa too. You'll see a little village in there. It's a little less than an hour into the drive from Kahului if you take Highway 340. They're locally famous for their banana bread, really good banana bread in the town. There's no store or anything, just little fruit stands they sell it at. They bake it when they feel like it though, so you never know if it's going to be available. But if you're lucky, they'll have some banana bread ready for you when you drive through. And off of our right side, it's probably my favorite spot on the Highway 340. You see some cars parked down here, a bunch of tide pools by this lava rock. You can go swimming in those little tide pools. They're pretty cool. Come out here early enough, especially on the weekdays, and no one will be out there. It's already getting a little crowded today. As we approach midday is when there's the most people down there. And then this is all state park in front of us, so you can go hike through this area as well. So anytime you're in Hawaii, look for state parks. They're free. They're around interesting areas. A good way to stay away from some of the tourist traps. And if you have a four-wheel drive on the weekends, they open these roads here. People will go deer hunting up in the mountains, but you can go four-wheel driving on some of the roads as well. See some of the countryside. A lot of deer in Hawaii now, or in Maui County, I should say. Maui, Moloka'i, and Lanai have the deer problem. They're kind of smuggled out to Hawaii for hunting. Now they can't hunt enough of them. Tens of thousands of deer. Do a lot of damage to agriculture, so chances are you didn't bring your hunting rifle when you came to Maui, but next time, help us out with that. That's an old pineapple field down here below us. Most of the pineapple field's been let go, but there's a few left. And the Highway 340 turns into Highway 30 just around the corner and takes you out to Kapalua and where all the hotels are. And we're going to cross the Pailolo Channel now. Go check out Moloka'i. So now Pai means fisherman. Lolo in Hawaiian is like an insult. Means you're not very smart, basically. So it's the channel of the dumb fishermen. And they wouldn't call it that if you had Kona winds every day, but usually we have strong winds from the north and it makes like a wind tunnel between the two islands, makes it real bumpy, real rough, the waters in the Pailolo Channel, 99% of the time, but not a bad day at all to take a boat ride to Moloka'i, real calm seas, supposed to be like this for a couple of days too. This channel is relatively shallow too. It's only about 1,200 feet deep at its very deepest point. The ocean goes down to 8,000 feet deep, just a little further to the north. So you notice these little islands here. You got Lanai off of our left side, Moloka'i in front of us. They're real close together. and a real shallow water in between. So geologists say that's because it's like a sunken island. They think it probably looked like the big island at one point, but over time it sunk down into the ocean very slowly. Water filled in the lower lying areas. So geologists say it sunk. Hawaiians, though, they have a creation myth behind Maui County, this group of islands. They say there was a boy named Maui who came from the big island, and he went fishing with this magic fishing pole, caught the island of Maui, and was pulling it up when the line broke, leaving the island partially submerged. So it never came all the way out. So either way, up to you guys. At Moloka'i up there, that's the friendly island, they call it. So Maui, the valley island, Moloka'i, the friendly island. As long as you don't stay too long, they say. It's not really centered around tourism as much as Oahu and Maui. A little sparsely populated. Only about 7,000 people live out on Moloka'i. 150,000 people live on Maui. Even more visitors. So big difference culturally between the two islands.
Moving across the water, there he goes, turning my whole world around. Do you feel what I feel? Can we make it so that's part of the deal? I got a whole.
And in front of us we have Turtle Rock. You can see the two big rocks in front of us. The bigger of the two is Turtle Rock. Looks like a profile of a sea turtle from the side angle here. Military used that rock for target practice back in World War II, and then they made it a bird sanctuary. But more notorious for hammerhead sharks in the waters around Turtle Rock. So more professional divers, experienced divers will go out there, check out the hammerheads. And if you want to see hammerhead sharks and you don't want to be in the water with them, we have a great aquarium for that back on Maui. So you don't have to come out to Turtle Rock to see hammerheads.
Moving across the water, there he goes, turning my whole world around. Do you feel what I feel? Can we make it so that's part of the deal? I gotta hold you in these arms of steel.
That's Murphy's Ranch out in front of us. Big cattle ranch on the corner of the island. Also a working dude ranch out here. You don't typically think of cattle ranches when you think of Hawaii, but there's a great number of them throughout the islands. The Parker Ranch over on the Big Island used to be the country's largest cattle ranch, but now it's sold off half their land. It's still the third largest cattle ranch way out here in Hawaii. Now Murphy's Ranch in front of us, not quite that big, but like I said, it is a working dude ranch, so they'll teach you how to be a paniolo out here. That's the Hawaiian cowboy.
Who else is gonna bring you a bottle of rain? There we go. Moving across the water. There we go.
And here's Moloka'i's coastal highway we're crossing. This is what it looks like at rush hour too. It's just one lane, there's no cars out here today. Doesn't look like I haven't seen any yet. And the road dead ends over here off of our right side in Hawaiian Valley, so there's no road like wrapping around Moloka'i. The North Shore, it's got the world's largest sea cliff, so really impassable.
Can you see what I see?
Unless you have a helicopter. We'll be able to see the North Shore.
I will meet you by the witness tree. Leave the whole world behind. I wanna come when you call. I'll get to you if I have to crawl. They
There's a lava fall off of our Malka side here. We'll come in here on the left side, give you a good view of that first, and we'll switch sides, put it on the right for y'all.
There we go. Moving across the water. There we go. Turn my whole world around. Turning 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 my whole world around.
This all Hawaiian rainforest out here. It takes about 100 inches of annual rainfall for a forest to be considered a rainforest. They get well past that in portions of Moloka'i. Except for on days like today with the Kona winds. Doesn't really rain, or hardly rains anywhere. Usually a drier air mass and the winds coming from the south. Here in front of us we got the world's largest sea cliffs, about a 2,000 foot drop. The sea cliffs go up to about 3,000 feet, a little further up the coast. So welcome to our North Shore. And here's Papala'ua Falls, 1,400 foot waterfall. I'll come in here and give you guys a nice close look at Papala'ua, our nicest waterfall on the North Shore. And those are kukui nut trees down on the bottom of the valley. See the trees with like the white leaf? That's what they make the leis and bracelets out of. Those rounded nuts on them. Don't eat those though. The Hawaiians use kukui nuts as a natural laxative. And up here by this shore break, you got lahala trees. That's what they make the mats and the baskets out of. Looks like woven bamboo kind of when it's all done. Sometimes you'll see the Hawaiians with a Wahala mat design tattooed on them to symbolize his family or a strong bond. So an important tree for the native Hawaiians. You'll see that tree around Kahalui as well, one of the few native trees in Kahalui. And if you look way out there in the distance, you can see the Kalapapa Peninsula. You see the little lighthouse out there? It's like a 2-mile peninsula way out at our 12 o'clock. That's where the notorious leprosy colony was in the past, you may have read about. By the time leprosy became a problem in Hawaii, over half the population already wiped out by malaria and smallpox. That's why they kind of overreacted. They criminalized leprosy. So that was more of like a jail than anything else for quite a while. But now it's a historic national park, so you can go visit Kalapapa if you like. And then off of our Mauka side, this is the Wailau Valley we're about to head into. Wai means water, Lau means many, Valley of Many Waters. There's 7 Hawaiian families that still live in the Wailau Valley, completely self-sufficient, living off the land. No electricity, no roads. Now the valleys over here in Moloka'i, you'll notice they're real deep and real wide. Bigger valleys, the further west you go, you have more time, more erosion. The older the islands, or the further west you go, the older the islands will get. So we'll fly through some of the valleys over in West Maui a little bit later. They'll be real narrow, kind of tighter. So as far as animals out here, same as what you got in Maui. You got the deer, you got the mountain goats, and the wild boar. Non-native species, most of them. But provide some good hunting for the people that live in the Wailau at least. All those things a bit overpopulated though, so you guys can go to as many luau's as you want, do your own damage to the boar species. That would all help us out. They destroy a lot of the nesting grounds for the native birds of the island. So tons of wild boar in Hawaii. And the wild boar we have now, probably a lot different than the wild boar the Polynesians brought people over time, and still do continue to kind of smuggle in these larger species of boar to make hunting more entertaining. We've got a little larger and more aggressive boar in Hawaii now. And most of these trees that you're seeing back here are the Ohia lehua tree. Ohia is the name of the tree, lehua is the name of the flower that's not really blooming this time of year, but usually have a real small flower. It'll bloom in the spring. You have a few late bloomers, we might have to see a few of them. But a real famous tree in Hawaiian mythology. They're the first tree that grows on the lava rock over on the Big Island, and they grow at many different elevations. All these green trees, they look almost like a tropical version of an oak tree, a deeper green of an oak tree. But the Hawaiians have a famous creation myth about it. It's like a love story. Ohia was this Hawaiian guy, Lehua was his girlfriend. The two were inseparable until Pele came between them. Have you guys heard of Pele? Not the soccer player. The fire goddess, right? So, we're in Hawaii, not Brazil. But anyways, there's this real beautiful fire goddess in Hawaii, and when the volcanoes erupt, it's because of her. She's doing it. She's a fire goddess, and she's real beautiful and powerful, and she likes this Ohia guy. Tells him he has to lose his girlfriend, Lehua, come stay with Pele. But he's a good boyfriend. He says no. He stays loyal. So Pele gets real upset, magically turns him into a tree. Which I know sounds kind of bizarre, but real common in Hawaiian mythology. Goddesses are always turning guys into trees, plants, rocks sometimes. But that's where the Ohia tree comes from. All Ohia trees blow us. And then Lehua begs the other Hawaiian gods to reunite them, so they turn her into the little red flower. So you're not supposed to pick the little red flower. If you pick the little red flower, they say it begins to rain as the tree weeps for its loss. So everyone's been real good today. You can see the big coral reef down here too on the south side of Moloka'i. You can walk about a mile out on the coral reef at low tide. It's only about 2 to 3 feet deep. See ancient Hawaiian fish ponds around the shoreline here too. What the Hawaiians would do is stack rock out on the coral reef and compass those circles. They put their different fish in the different ponds when they had extra fish from their fishing trips. So they like segregate them basically. Eventually they would spawn, make babies, have more. So ancient Hawaiian fish farms all along this coastline. So a lot of aquaculture out in Moloka'i. Also farming shrimps onshore down there in Kumalu.
You are the wind beneath my wings. Am I
Alright, we're crossing the Pailolo Channel again now. We'll go check out the leeward side of West Maui. Got a pretty good view of Lanai off of our right side. That's the private island. So privately owned, 98% of it. And the Hawaiians for a long time, they wouldn't live over there for until about the 15th century because they believed it was haunted and possessed by spirits, the island. So a lot of superstition in the Hawaiian culture. Believed it was a haunted island until 15th century. What happened then was there was a prince over on Maui that was really irritating everyone, causing all sorts of trouble and mischief. They finally got sick of him. They kicked him off the island. They made him go live on Lanai as punishment, figuring the ghosts and the spirits would devour him, destroy him. That would like teach him a lesson. But after a few weeks, they'd look across the channel, see his campfire was still lighting up. So he was obviously doing fine over there. They just assumed he must have been so obnoxious, not even the spirits could handle him. He must have rid the island of evil ghosts with his personality. So it ended up being like a reward. He became the king of Lanai after that, this prince. People would go live with him. They had fishing villages and taro farms out there. Until 1793. That's when King Kamehameha, he took over Maui. They're not sure why, but afterwards after he defeated Maui, went over to Lanai and massacred all the people, killing everyone on the island, leaving it unpopulated again. And then King Kamehameha IV would later sell off the land. That's how it became the private island. Changed hands for quite a few times. It was a Mormon colony over there for a while, and then the Dole Company owned it. It was the world's largest pineapple plantation on the island for a little while, but no more pineapples commercially grown on Lanai. There are a few hotels over there, so you can stay, go visit Lanai now, if you're not afraid of the ghosts. I'm just teasing. All the islands have their fair share of ghost stories, even though Lanai was a haunted island in the past. Maui's got their share of spooky stories too. You may have heard of the Night Walkers, right? Have you heard of that one? It's a pretty good one. Basically, there's a trail that went around Maui a long time ago. It was called the King's Trail. It was like a anciently paved trail, they call it. It was all placed, rocks put together. You can actually still walk portions of the King's Trail out near La Perouse Bay, which is a little east of Kihei, if you know where that is. Anyways, the King's Trail went all the way around the island at one point. And they called it the King's Trail because when the king was walking on it, you had to get off. If he made eye contact with you while you're on the trail, it was punishable by death. You can be put to death. Other than that, it was fine, right? So I just really needed to know where the king was. But after the king dies, the spirit of the old kings, they still walk the trails at night occasionally. They call them the Night Walkers. That's the story of the Night Walkers. They carry with them a torch. And if they catch you on the trail, it's bad too. They can't physically harm you because they're, ghosts, they're spirits, but they can possess you, turn you crazy. Like the Exorcist. Same idea, basically. But the funny thing about that is when they built all these hotels in Kanapali here, they wanted to be as close to the coastline as they possibly could. So most of those hotels are built right on the King's Trail. So if you see King Kamehameha or King Kahakili walking through your hotel lobby at night with a torch, just don't make eye contact. Don't let them look at you. Well, you know, technically the Hawaiians say if you see the night walkers and you're too like close to run away, you're supposed to remove your clothes, lay beside the trail with your eyes shut as the spirits pass, but I wouldn't go that far. Probably think you're already possessed if you do that. And then we got the Black Rock over here. That's the Sheraton Hotel built on the Black Rock. Any of you guys staying there? Never mind. No, I'll tell you. The Sheraton's haunted. Sorry. Believed to be a portal to the afterlife, the Black Rock there. King Kahakili, the guy that jumped off the big rock on the North Shore, also famous for jumping off of that rock. More of a symbolic jump to show he was unafraid of the spirits that dwelt in the area. But people jump off the cliff all the time now, popular cliff diving. So supposedly, if you go down to the bar at 11 o'clock at night, you can see the spirits cross the barroom floors and walls. Like a local ghost story they tell. But you probably see that any bar at 11 o'clock at night, right? And here's Lahaina up here in front of us. This was the old port city in the past. This is the Au Channel now. It's called the channel water between Lahaina and Lanai. Au means bathwater. Now today it's pretty much all bathwater. It's all pretty calm around the islands because of the Kona winds, or the lack of wind basically. But it all pretty much always looks like this, real calm in Lahaina. That's where the trade ships used to come in the past. Now there's a big break wall on the North Shore and a deep sea port. So more for fun down here. A great place to learn how to surf if you ever wanted to try it out. You start on the south side. You got small waves. They break very slowly on a reef break, so it's very slow to build these waves. There's several surf schools that will teach you how to do it. Great place to learn how to surf on the south side. The North Shore is where our more famous surfing is done. If you want to go watch some very good surfers up there, you got nice waves today on the north side. But it's a faster and more powerful wave, so you don't want to start out on the North Shore. You see the big smokestack down there in town too? That's from the old sugarcane mill. No more sugarcane grown in West Maui because water's too expensive out here, but they did at one time. They left the mill as like a historical site. Pretty good coffee shop down there at the base of the mill. They sell the coffee that's grown right up the road behind the Sheraton, behind the Black Rock. There's those deep green fields up there. That's where they're growing the coffee. One of the places. They grow it in East Maui as well, but West Maui has been real successful with their coffee. And this is the oldest high school up here off of our left side, oldest high school west of the Rocky Mountains. It was founded way back in 1831. So with the trade ships coming to Lahaina, yeah, missionaries, hopping rides too. They built this old high school. And now it's the last public boarding school in Hawaii. So a public school. And each kid has to work about 20 hours a week taking care of the school, doing various different chores. That's kind of how they make the public boarding school work. And if you look up on our left side, you'll see the L up on the mountain. The seniors, they go up there and chalk that out with lime, put the class number on it, and then they'll light the L on fire on graduation night. Kind of a cool senior tradition they do in Lahaina.
Are you listening to what we're about to say? You see, we're on a mission, trying to find a way.
So this is the Laniapoko neighborhood we're flying over now. They say water is so expensive in West Maui that if you can afford a green lawn, it means you must be wealthy. Just like a joke, but probably true in this case. If you look down there, you see not just big green lawns, but massive houses, multi-million-dollar homes. One of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Maui down there. So no helicopter pilots live in Laniapoko. Not a chance. But Laniapoko, very cool. If you go off of our right side, it's a little crowded on the weekends, but they have barbecues, grills set up right on the beach. If you want to go grilling, and good little surf spot too, Laniapoko. But we'll head out of the more populated areas. Let's head into some of these valleys and show you why they call us the Valley Island. all desert out here by the coastline, but it gradually turns into rainforest. The center of the old volcanoes, clouds typically break up. A lot of these clouds don't bring their moisture too far down to the coast. But today, you know, weather kind of a little funky because we have the Kona winds.
Every boy and girl, could you imagine how simple life could be with a little aloha in you and me?
Cool thing about the Laniapoko Valley, a big koa forest back here. Koa is a real rare tree, only grows at certain elevations. Very susceptible to climate change, but also logging. You get like $20,000 worth of lumber off of one koa tree. So mostly been logged off the islands, but there's still some in this state rainforest preserve. All the tall trees off of our left side, those are koa trees. White bark, light green leaf. You'll see the ohia lehuas in this valley as well. They're the shorter trees.
A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world. Well, aloha means hello, and aloha means goodbye, and aloha.
And beautiful valleys out here. Lots of movies have been filmed out here. They do aerial shots. You got Laniapoko, we just flew through. Olovalu Valley underneath us, Iao Valley on the other side of that ridge line off our left, and then Ukumehame Valley out in front of us. You guys got all that?
Aloha.
It's on the test. Nah, just kidding, no test. Beautiful valleys out here though. They call us the Valley Island.
A little dip in the ocean. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Singing A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day.
You'll see the names of these valleys if you drive along Highway 30. The beaches down there named after the valleys they sit in front of. Ukumehame Beach down there, nice beach. You can park right on the sand still out here.
In our day. Spread a little aloha around the world.
Yeah, a couple waterfalls, still a little bit of water in the back of Ukumehame. Alright, out in front of us too, we got the Iao Valley. This is probably the most famous valley of the West Maui Mountains. It's the largest for one, but also the site of a big battle that took place back in 1793, the one I keep talking about, between King Kamehameha and the soldiers of Maui. They say it was the bloodiest battle in Hawaiian history, and the river that runs out of this valley ran red with blood for several days after the battle was over. So they call it the Wailuku River, means destructive waters in Hawaiian. And that's what they named the capital of the island after, is that river. So you got Wailuku at the mouth of the Iao Valley, and then Kahului. Two different cities out there, just looks like one because of more recent development. But you can hike around out here in the Iao Valley. It's state park, so it's no entrance fee. This one's kind of funny. They have a parking lot down there. They charge you like $10 to park. Not a lot, but most people just park alongside the road and walk a little further. No entrance fee. And this is the Waikapu Valley that we're flying in now. This little narrow valley down here. This was believed to have the most cleanest and sacred water of all the valleys. So only like the royal families were allowed to hang out down here. Alright, back with you now that we're back in between the two volcanoes of Maui. You can see a lot of sugarcane out here. And also the Maui Tropical Nursery down here below us. This is a cool spot to check out. They have zip lines set up to the nursery. And then on Sundays and Mondays, they have an open fair market out there in the grassy areas. Locals sell like handmade crafts and gifts. So if you want to get some souvenirs that aren't made in China, that's where you got to go. And then on our right side, further down Highway 30, pass right by Moloka'i Harbor, down there on the south side. That's where the Ocean Center is. It's right on the way to your guys' hotel. Also some pretty good seafood restaurants over there as well. And in front of us you can see the last remaining sugarcane mill in Hawaii. There's the twin smokestacks up there. Anyways, as I was saying, there's a museum down there by the sugarcane mill. I'll tell you everything there is to know about the sugarcane business. And I do have to give air traffic control my full attention now for the rest of the approach. Thank you guys, though, for coming out, flying around with me, because I don't get to go flying if you guys don't take the tour. They don't let me out by myself, so appreciate that for my sake. Then once we do land, just sit tight, wait for Mina Waka. She'll help you guys out of the aircraft. She'll set you guys up inside with any photos, or if you want the video of the flight. It's all caught on tape. Got you guys on there, your tour, my bad jokes, and everything. And if you didn't use the Aloha bag, don't worry, you still get a free souvenir at Air Maui. We have these complimentary posters. Just ask for those up at the office, and they'll get you one. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you. Alright, thanks again guys for coming out. Hope you enjoyed it. Just sit tight. Mina will be right over here in just a second. Help you out.
Oh, why can't well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them